Good day, guys. Us today, and today is a good day. Today is the day that I finally bring you the PlayStation, or the PSX, or as the French call it, Le PlayStation, or the, I don't know, the Spaniards, La PlayStation. Even though that also sounds French. Or, I don't know, Japanese, which I got no idea, and my apologies for stereotyping both people's languages and cultures, but the excitement is pulsating through my veins like a vengeance unknown right now. For those of you who are unaware, I have been unable to get this out for so long. I mean, I've had hospital trips, broken legs, no internet, moving house, computer completely breaking, everything. I mean, the other day I had a Titan land in my back garden, and he pitchforked me with his, I don't know, his shaft of steel, even though that sounds completely wrong. Say spear of destiny. That sounds better. And basically it made it almost impossible for me to bring you the most promised system out of all the HyperSpin systems that have wanted to get to you. But today is a new day. When I woke up today, I woke up with a smile on my face, because today is a day that you get the PlayStation or the PSX or whatever this system's called in your life. And it's good. So, let's climb this mountain together. Let's plant our PlayStation flag upon the summit and cast our gaze down upon the worldly gifts that PlayStation brought us all those many moons ago. So, without further ado, let's get stuck in. Right, as always, and it feels good to say this, guys, as always, in the description down below is the mega link, more than likely. Within that mega link, you will find everything that you will need for the PlayStation to be set up. I'm including wheels, boxes, discs, bezels, fades. Now, I'm not saying it's 100% complete, but it's about as complete as you're going to get. New art and all kinds of stuff is added to this daily. You can download it at your heart's content whenever you want. However, once it is more or less complete, I will be updating this on a regular basis, because at the end of the day, it's all good. Now, what a system. I've given you everything that you need, but what we need to do now is actually get it sorted. So once you've done that mega link, got it downloaded, you will receive something like this on your desktop. First things that we need to know, Mega is going through a bit of a change. So I believe anything that's larger than a gig download, you will need a plugin for your browser or something installed. All that information is held over at Mega, I don't know. But basically, it's the best way for me to share with you guys. So if the link isn't working or you get some pop-up error or something, it's more than likely something to do with that. And if that is the case, then Google is your friend, guys. I don't know how all that stuff works, because there's so many different variables with the different computers, different browsers, systems, all that kind of good stuff. I don't know, guys. But anyway, take that up there. Once you have got it, you will get something like this. It is a, well, it's telling me it's a WinRAR file, but it's not. It lies to me. It sits upon a throne of lies. What it is, in fact, is a 7-zip file. And what I want to do is extract it using 7-zip on my desktop, because using another program such as WinRAR, as it's trying to advise me to do, could cause issues down the line. So again, extract that with your 7-zip and you'll end up with a folder similar to this. Okay, let's have a look what we've got then. As always, we've got the Simply Austin README file, and a bountiful README file it is too. In there is some wise words, some very wise words. If you could smell the screen right now, it probably smells of leather-bound books and very wise men. Because in there, I cannot even put a monetary value upon that. You know, if I was to sell it on eBay, the complete house that I own and its contents, including all my worldly possessions, thoughts and memories, wouldn't even amount to the kind of knowledge that I bespoke upon you with this this README file. So there you go, have fun with that. Make sure you take it on board, and as always, I've got the media and stuff that you need. I've disseminated them into folders in some kind of logical order to make it as easy for you as possible to get the system up and running. So let's make this sense then. Basically, we've got HyperSpin files and our Rocket Launcher or HyperLaunch media files, depending on if you're running HyperLaunch or Rocket Launcher. So let's actually get this set up. First things that we need to do then is, let's have a look. Let's find where we installed our HyperSpin. Now at this moment in time I'm running the exact same install that I used to update to Rocket Launcher 1.4 and Rocket Launcher 1.4, HyperSpin 1.4 and Rocket Launcher updated up to like a week ago or something. There's probably been loads of updates, but we won't go through that for this tuition or install. Okay, so first off let's go into our Rocket Launcher. These are the files as default. What we want to do is go into our Rocket Launcher files that I've provided for you. You will see a folder called Media. Within our Rocket Launcher folder you will also see one called Media. What you need to do is copy that media file over to the Rocket Launcher folder, and it should ask, do you want to mingle that media file with this media file? Yes, you do. Yes. Replace that at your own content. Thank you very much. Now what we need to do is go into our HyperSpin folder. Now in here, again, those of you who pick up on things like this, you will see there's a media folder and a databases folder. In the HyperSpin setup, again, we've got the databases folder and media folder present there. What we need to do is highlight and drag that bad boy across to, again, merge the two folders. Merge them together, and any second now it's going to give me a pop-up. Do you want to overwrite said files within those folders? In which case I will click yes, replace. Thank you very much. So as that happens then, let's actually have a think about what we're doing here. We're setting up PlayStation. We're setting up PlayStation using, now please don't start chopsing off for those of you who actually set up PlayStation before, but what I'm going to show you today is how to set up PlayStation using Retroarch. Now for me, Retroarch is the #1 player when it comes to PlayStation. It's my go-to emulator. Now there are other emulators and each one of them are very good at their own things. However, Retroarch is very good at all of those things. Now I will be showing you how to set up a few more emulators, more than likely, I don't know, EPXXE and also Zebra or Zebra. I don't know how you do it. It looks like Zebra with an X. I don't know. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But yeah, we're going to be showing you how to set up those also, but not in this install vid. Basically, I use the EPXE, I think it's 1.90 or something, or 1.925. I use that emulator basically to get the stunning graphics that it's got and save states, because both of those are extremely good. I also use Zebra because it's very, very stable at those games which can be problematic. It's also pinch perfect for the actual emulation. However, Retroarch is good at both of those. You know, every game that I've ever thrown in it, no issue whatsoever, no glitches, no problems. It runs smooth as butter. It's, in my eyes, it's not as good on the eyes as the EPSXE. However, it's very close, and if you're going for the more retro feel of it, in my eyes, personal preference again guys, it's better. EPXXE is very good if you want to make it look very modern, smooth and all singing, all dancing. So again, we're going off subject here, but I'm going to show you how to do Retroarch today, and then, well, in the future we're going to show you more. I can't say better than that, can I? So because you've already been through my tutorials, more than likely when you've been to this stage, you will also probably have Retroarch set up. I've already configured it guys, it's already in there set up for you. So if you're forgetting how to, or if you haven't done it yet, go in the download, go in the link below, that will show you to the Retroarch video, and then you can install to your heart's content, bring yourself back up to speed about Retroarch and all that good stuff, or you can just ignore it and carry on because you've already got it. Who cares? Okay, so that's Retroarch set up. So we've got the emulator set up, we've got the media in place. Now what we need to do is actually go in and set it up in, first of all, Rocket Launcher, and then what we're going to do is set it up in HyperSpin. Then hopefully, if all is good in the land of HyperSpin gods, it will play no problem, and we've all got it set up and dancing. So first things first then, let's get ourselves into the Rocket Launcher. Now normally we would enter the system to get it set up, however I'm sure this is probably going to ask me to update now. Yep. I don't want to update now because that's going off topic. Yeah, basically I'm sure as default we should already have, yes, there it is, PlayStation set up as default. In your vanilla install of HyperSpin, you will already have PlayStation enabled. So there we go. Right, what we need to do now is more than likely, yeah, we'll full screen, so then we got all our tabs and everything's laid out the way it should be. First off then, global. Make sure we're on the global tab on the left here, then go down to emulators tab at the top. Now you've probably already got Retroarch set up, but just in case, ensure it is. So you got Retroarch here. Remember, you should have watched the video before this, and you should have no little red mark there. If you double click on it, all the information should be there, and you should have no errors, red lines or anything like that. If there is, then watch the Retroarch video and then go through the install guide and get back to this stage so everything's good. All you need to do then is choose the Retroarch exe as the path for the thing. For the executionable. And I know it's not called executionable, guys, it just sounds cooler. Executable sounds like shit and boring. They call it executionable because it kills things. Right, so that's your global. We've got the emulator set up. Now we need the actual system. So let's make our way through setting up the system itself. First off then, go to the PlayStation tab on the left hand side. What you need to do then is the emulator tab at the top again. ROM paths. Let's set up our ROM path. So as I said, I installed a few games upon the system just for this guide basically, and I put them in this directory, games. Obviously your ROMs can be wherever they are. I'm sure we've been down this road before many a time, guys. Okay, default emulator. Again, for the basis of this one, I'm going to be using Retroarch because I've already got it set up on this. And that is it. That is it. Jesus wept. That now it knows where our games are. Now it knows what we want to play them with. Let's actually go and do a little bit of tweaking. Right, first off then, I don't know how your games come. I don't know how they're named. I don't know all that good stuff. There are a few things that you need to take into consideration before we go ahead and start playing. One of them, 7-zips or compressed games. If you've got a compressed game, when you go over to this section here and it says 7Z, so we're on settings tab, main settings, 7Z or 7Z, ZID, what the hell? Go to the enabled, and I'm going to put true because I know that mine are all compressed, so I'm going to put that as a compressed, obviously. If you haven't got them compressed, then basically don't. Compressed means that basically they will either be, I don't know, 7-zip, so 7Z, RAR file, zip file. I'm sure there's some others, but they're the main ones that you more than likely will get if they're compressed. If they're not, then they'll probably be in ISO, BinQ, all the CD looking imagey ones. So again, if it works, sorry, if you know it's compressed, put true. If they're not, if you're unsure, try one, and then when you're playing the game, try the other. It's the best I can say at this moment in time. It's hard because I don't know what games you're playing, guys. Remember, the names of the games are very important, especially for this system. Okay, we'll go into that in a second when we get to the games tab. Fade in. I want to show this as true because this is a 7-zip one, so it will be, well, it'll have a fade screen up for a little time where it's decompressing or uncompressing the actual image file. I want that to be up. I'm going to leave the fade out off for now, but you can put that on to your heart's content. You've already probably got all these set up anyway. Yep, I'm not going to mess around with any of that stuff. I'm not going to mess around with that. The only other thing that I want to do is enable the bezel. So bezel enabled. Again, your own preference for this, guys. If you want a bezel, as in the image round the screen, because you want it to use it at its normal aspect ratio, then enable it. If you want it to stretch across the whole of your screen and fill it up, which is good, but it looks warped sometimes, quite considerably warped. So I like to use bezels. Up to you guys. Okay, so that's the actual main settings put up properly. To be honest, this should now be up and going. Okay, let's, as we talked about, go to the games section. Now, I've given you a database. Within that database, it may have changed what you already have. Now, there's so many databases out there. I'm not saying mine's the best. but I'm saying that it's the one I've been working off for a long time, and I haven't found that many errors. Maybe, hopefully, somebody will come up with the official database, because even the official one seems to have errors. I don't know. But for now, I've provided one for you. So, click on the blue one, and that's it, basically. Now, some of you, the more wiser amongst you, with the eagle eyes, may notice that the game names, none of them have the language tags anymore, or the version numbers. They've all been removed, because that's the way that HyperSpin is turning, and the way that game releases are going. Because it just looks silly, there's no use for them anymore. So all you've got now is the name of the game, and the country that came from. Now, I'd say 95% of the games come like that already, but some of them have the extra brackets on the end, which then has the, I don't know, the language it does, so it'll have bracket EN, comma, SP, comma, GR, comma, blah de blah, all that kind of good stuff. And then it might have another set of brackets with like the version 1.2 on it or something, I don't know. Basically that's yesterday's stuff. So this is an updated version, but it might not be the most up-to-date. That's the way we're all going. Now, all my art and everything is named in relevance to this. So again, when it comes to your ROMs, the ROMs that you download probably will, unless you get very lucky, have the language tags on the end. Now, I'm going to show you how to get around that later. However, if you just change the name of the 7-zip file or the file itself, you will run into errors. Number one, a 7-zip file has the file that Rocket Launcher is going to run once it's uncompressed, and that name also has to be the same as the game that you want to run. So if you just change the name of the 7-zip file or the compressed file, then the game inside it will still have the original name. You understand what I'm talking about? It's hard to explain this. Now, another thing is, even if it wasn't compressed and you still had the original game, because of the way these formats work, most of them have like a Q file that goes along with them and stuff. Now, upon that Q file, inside it will have information that is relevant to the actual name of the game that it's trying to run. So you will also have to then go inside the Q file to do that. Now, there is lots of renaming tools and stuff like that that do this for you, but again, I'll do this at a later video because I just want to get the actually set up and installed, because that's a hell of a lot of problem to go into. So if you have got the language tags or anything like that, please don't bother just renaming them, because you will run into errors later down the line, and you may make it so you may not be able to get them back to the way they were, so you can fix them. So for now, just run the games that don't have them tags. I can't say that any easier, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah, I'll be showing you how to change that, and I'll be showing you how to do other emulators. But for now, God, back on track. Let's actually test this bad boy and make sure it works. So I've got this game here, I don't know, Ace Combat 3. Let's see if this works. Hopefully, when I click on the launch 7Z fade screen, because that's the one I want to be using in-game, it should give me a little woman chopping off saying loading or something, and a little graph going up, and then the game should load. It may look a bit quacky because I haven't set the bezel up. Oh,
loading complete.
Didn't work. Let's try the other one. Sorry guys, I should have tested these. There we go.
Loading game.
Seems my computer is going a bit haywire. As you can see, the font that I actually enabled for this isn't actually on this computer, so I enabled one to get through, so it may look a bit skew if compared to yours. I'm not even sure if this game loading is going to work now, because I've just messed it all up with a new computer. Hopefully it will though. Let's see. It's so exciting.
Loading complete.
So give me that PlayStation
Loading
sound.
complete.
Come on. Yes! Yes! So we have set it up correctly, thank God. Right, what we need to do now then is back in the day when you had a chipped PlayStation, you have to wait for that to make sure that it worked. Oh, the memories. Okay then, so what we need to do is I press F1. I've got a manky keyboard here, this could be complicated. F1, there we go. Sorry, my keyboard's complicated, it hasn't just got a normal F1. Right, as you know, with the Rocket Launcher install guide, You have to set your own bezels and your screen and all that stuff. I'm not going to go into it too much detail here because I've shown you already on the Rocket Launcher install guide. And I'm sure if you're up to this stage, you've already done it about 1,000 times before anyway. So what we need to do is press F1, brings up this menu. I will be doing an updated version of Retroarch as well, don't worry guys. It's just with all the stuff that's been going on and behind, I just want to get this one out and then we'll do an updated version. The process will be exactly the same. Get on to settings. What do we want now? We want video options and then we want custom ratio. Right, basically what we want to do is make this fit the screen. I'm not going to be too arsey right now because this is just a demo of how to do it. So use the arrow keys to move around within Retroarch and use the Z and X keys to say yes and no basically. Okay, so now we fill the screen. I can be more, you know, anal with it later on, but for now I just want to get this out to you. So what we want to do then is press X again to say yes, thank you very much. We can go around tweaking all kinds of stuff here, but for now I'm just going to leave as it is. So now I'll press Z to come out of there, Z to come out again. What I want to do is save this new config. Save new config and press X. Okay, so now it's saved it. Again, it's saved it as the name of the core, not the name of the system. So as you've been watching in the Retroarch video guide, you then have to go into the system configs folder and change the name of that so it makes it permanent from then on. Then if you want to add more controllers, add shaders or anything like that, again, go into it, save new config and rename that file, and that one will be used from then on. Because if I exit out of here now and then come back in, basically it will just be exactly the same because it won't be loading from the config that we just made. Again, all complicated to say at this moment in time, but the Retroarch video will give you more detail. Easy. Okay then, so now we've got the game running. We've got lovely bezel down the side if you want to use it. We've got the screen configured. We've got Retroarch configured. Hopefully the game is now booming. Now what we need to do is make it actually run within HyperSpin. So let's actually just exit out of here. Yep, that's all set up, so we don't need that anymore. Get out to my life. Now we can go into HyperHQ. Rocket Launcher basically sets up all the running of the game with the controls and the I don't know, booting, exiting, all that kind of stuff. HyperHQ deals with, as we all know, the actual front end of it all, so the selecting of the game with all the wheels and stuff. So once we're in here then, we've already got the system enabled, so what we need to do is wheel, choose the wheel, go down to PlayStation. Now mine is slightly filled in because I've been experimenting. But yours should be exactly the same, except you probably won't have a ROM path and you won't have any extensions. But make sure you tick the HyperLaunch little icon here. This is disabled, all these set to normal or whatever it is. Put the ROM path to wherever your ROM or your games are, as in the folder where they all exist. Then the extensions. Now I can't stress how paramountly important having the extensions correct here is, and the way you put them is, I know that all mine are compressed, so I put all the ones that I know are of a compressed format. But all you need to do is go to your games themselves, right click and see whatever format they are. But I know they're all 7-zip, so I'll put that extension down first. No spaces, comma, again no space, RAR, no comma, comma, no spaces, and then zip, and that's how you put all the extensions that are possible in there. Now I don't know what extensions yours are, but obviously they would correspond to whatever it is that you're in your games. Jesus, tongue tied today. Okay, so that's the emulator side of it all set up. We've got the ROM path and we got the extensions. Next thing then, wheel. I like to turn mine completely off, as in when you stop the wheel turning, do they fade away? I want it to completely fade away. I also like the style. Normally they come as normal. I like it to be vertical. I like the size to be 400 and that to be 240, but they should be default as soon as you switch to vertical anyway. And I do like it to be animated. Okay, navigation and themes. I like basically to show my ROMs only. I also want it to show wheels only. I want it to return to the last game that we played because there's lots of games for the PlayStation. Yeah, all good. Video, basically point these to your video folder. Sounds, I like to disable this. I cannot stress how important it is for me to disable those sounds because they are so fucking annoying, unbelievably annoying. And then special art, if you have a 360 pad, then follow what's on the screen now. I'll guide you through them. But if you haven't, please stop. Do not touch it. It's only if you've got a 360 pad, because basically inside the files and folders that I supplied with the media, I gave you the 360 pad setup with the buttons that I always use for my setups. So if you haven't got that, don't change anything. If you have, and only if you have and are using a 360 pad, then disable all the top ones and only enable special artwork B enabled. Then in the Xbox here, Xbox in the Xbox here, 500, 384, 1, 1, 3 and 3. Ensure that stays fade as normal, and that is it. That is everything now set up as it should be, good to go. Now I have mine set up in how can I say, where's it gone? Main settings, sorry. I have mine set up at the moment in windowed mode. Obviously you'd be playing this in full screen, but just for the purposes of going through all this and showing you that it works, I'm playing mine in windowed mode. So now I can exit out of here. Now what I can do is load up HyperSpin. This may be loud, I'm sorry guys. Takes a second. Okay, so there we go. We've got HyperSpin up and running. Get through there. Here we are. Okay, default intro video. The default main menu, as you can see, I've supplied for you. And if we go inside, hopefully, yes, there we go. Now, obviously, there are lots more games, but because I only told it to show the ones that I have, all I can see is these present. Now, obviously, these are also a widescreen format, so they're all looking squished at this moment in time. When you full screen this on a 16:9 screen, it will all look crystal clear and perfect. Trust me, guys. Okay, so there you go. There's all the wheels. You've got your icons at the bottom because you're using the 360 pad. The only things that you need to do now to get this absolutely complete is the bit where it says Namco Year 2000, Ace Combat 3, Electrosphere. Go to the tips and tricks 2015 video. In there it will show you how to change that so it looks like it suits this actual system, fits in the correct place and looks top dog. The only other thing that you need to do is get the videos. Now you can use HyperSync, you can download them from MU Movies without HyperSync, you can go to, I don't know, torrenty websites, you can download them yourself from YouTube, wherever you want. I haven't got the bandwidth, guys, to actually upload all the videos. I mean, it took me fucking over a day to upload the actual media just for this. To include videos also would just be too much for me. So that is it. That is you up and running. As you can see, you've got all the stuff that you need. It's all singing. Let's get out of here actually. You're all singing, you're all dancing. That is HyperSpin up and running. PlayStation is finally added to your systems. Now, Gypsy's warning, like I always do for you guys. If you are stuck for anything, do not go to these scamming websites which try to sell you pre-configured drives. They do not work. No matter how much positive feedback they are blaggingly put on the channels or websites or whatever it is they come from, they don't work, guys. And I'm going through the ringer trying to fix so many people's drives because they forked out so much money to buy these. And it's not just like normal people, like, I don't know, it's not just some dude. Often it's somebody that's bought it for the family, and I wouldn't normally go out of my way to fix something like that, but at the end of the day, these are kids that these are being bought for, and I just find it so, it makes me so angry, and it's bang out of order. So please do not buy from any of these pre-configured drive crap retailers, computer retailers, whatever. Buy a legitimate drive. Buy a legitimate computer from a reputable company with a warranty that isn't just some words on YouTube or on their website, an actual warranty, Get the, I don't know, art and all the information and stuff from trusted resources like the HyperSpin website. You know, I've gone through this every time, guys, but it still doesn't seem to be sinking in. But I can only try my best, guys. Okay then, so look forward. I will be showing you the some more install guides for your emulators. I've also got the Amiga guide coming straight out, and I've got the, I don't know, I've been trying to edit through for my ultimate computer for emulation, one that you can build yourself on a budget, minimum budget, maximum performance. So look forward to that. I've been waiting for my parts to fucking arrive forever, so my apologies for the late out in of that one. But yeah, that's PlayStation, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a long one, isn't it? Please subscribe, share this video as much as you can, get the knowledge out that you can make this yourself without any issues at all. I mean, this is probably a long video, but most of it is just me waffling on. I'm trying to teach you and get you set up at the same time so you can do all this for yourself, not just for this system but for many others. So thank you again for watching this. Again, subscribe, do all the shit that people normally do on our YouTube channel, and you have a fantastic day. Laters, guys.